Welcome to the Foul Mouth News, where the filters are off and the language is colorful. If you are offended by profanity or vulgarity in general, not to mention political incorrectness, this video is not for you. You have been forewarned. So if you have virgin ears, be prepared because they are about to be violated.
Hello, everyone. So, you remember how they said that basically the people that were coming here, illegally, that they were giving asylum to, that were people who were just basically, committing fucking asylum fraud, committing immigration fraud. You remember how they said they were just perfect little fucking angels and, well, yeah, they didn't exactly turn out to be perfect little angels. I mean, it was funny. You had all these people reporting about Venezuelan gang activity, and I saw a bunch of this online about, Venezuelan gangs taking over, like an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado, and you had Aurora going, well, that's a complete lie, and you had the federal government, you had Homeland Security going, oh, there are no Venezuelan gang members in this fucking country. Okay, well, guess what? Not only did Aurora officials admit this, but in another article, they're even admitting that Department of Homeland Security has admitted this shit. And all it finally took was one woman living in fear of her life with a Ring fucking camera doorbell on her apartment fucking door, okay, to expose their bullshit as a bunch of fucking Venezuelans go and try to break into someone's house across from her, all right, with AKs. Oh, I'm sure they legally bought them, too. I mean, all it took was that. All the shootings and shit. She had to call the cops multiple times going, yeah, this is ridiculous. And they wouldn't do a goddamn fucking thing about it. She actually had one of the cops say to her, why don't you try to find a new place to live? If a cop said that to me, I'd go, hey, listen, you fucking fat, donut-eating, fucking retarded, flat-footed prick. I'd be like, well, how about you do your fucking job and arrest the fucks? How about you do your job and actually respond to calls when they're fucking shooting each other? Shooting at each other. How about you fucking do that? But they got egg in their fucking face and all it took was a Ring fucking camera. I'm surprised the feds haven't pressured Ring to delete fucking footage off of their fucking servers. I am really fucking surprised. I am beyond fucking surprised that they haven't had them remove shit from their cloud fucking servers that's incriminating to them. Go, yeah, it's misinformation, it's Russian shit. I mean, that's how they got, the fucking social media companies to censor shit. Yeah, it's Russian misinformation. I mean, that's their usual go-to, for fuck's sake. So anyway, we have an article here from CBS News published on August 30th. Let's get into this fucking shit. Oh, I'm so fucking professional. I ain't zooming shit in before I even get into this. Oh yeah, and by the way, I feel naked without my soundboard. As I mentioned in the first video for the weekend, I don't exactly, my soundboard, it crashes when I go to load the file with all the information for the buttons. It's either that or it locks up. So I'm kind of sitting here staring at a button on my Stream Deck 4 Rocco. And he's just, as Jafar, and he's just staring at me right now. Going, you wish you could press me right now. Anyway, yeah, so let's get into this here, because these fucking assholes have egg in their face. I mean, real quick, well, it's just her talking over it, so we don't need it. But these are the people going to fucking break in. Got a rifle with a scope. You had another one with a fucking, I mean, this is fucking full-on retarded shit. They got AKs, they got fucking pistols, in this fucking neighborhood. I mean, what the fuck? This is right before they fucking shot someone. I mean, give me a fucking break. Anyway, let's get into this. Officials in Aurora have begun to acknowledge the presence of Venezuelan gang activity in their Colorado city after the release of a terrifying surveillance video. The presence of gang activity. that's an under fucking statement. Their fucking community's been taken over. This apartment fucking community, people are living in fear. And what do the cops do? What does the city do? They basically tell them to shut the fuck up and try to find a new place to fucking live. I mean, Jesus Christ. For Cindy Romero, living at 12th Avenue and Dallas Street has become it has become, what the fuck? Proofread your shit. It should say, for Cindy Romero, living at 12th Avenue and Dallas Street, it has become a daily struggle against escalating violence and neglect. Life deteriorated into a nightmarish ordeal marked by frequent encounters with crime and what she calls a lack of support from the city and police. That's an understatement. She first noticed a gradual increase in crime in her part of Denver metro area about a year and a half ago. It got worse over the last 3 months. We were constantly forced to take measures to protect ourselves, Romero said. I installed more locks, bought additional cameras, and parked further away from the building, which to me is stupid, but anyway. Despite all these efforts, the situation kept escalating. We felt like we were being tortured. She reported seeing people move automatic weapons and engage in shootouts. Now, to me, I'm going to park as close. If I'm in a shitty fucking area, I'm parking as close to my destination as possible so that I have less of an opportunity in encountering these type of people. I mean, hell. I've been to some really shitty fucking parts of Boston and, you know, the surrounding cities, okay? I've been to really shitty parts of like other areas of the country. I mean, shit. I've been to fucking parts of fucking Lake Charles where you wouldn't, you know, when I lived in Louisiana, where you shouldn't fucking go. You just be smart about it. But this goes beyond the shitty neighborhood situation. And I park close with the shitty neighborhood situation. This stuff, if I could fucking park at the front, literally at the front door and hop out of the vehicle right in and bolt that shit behind me, when you got Venezuelan gang members with automatic weapons and rifles with scopes and all of that other happy horse shit, you better fucking believe I'm on the ground doing the fucking military crawl so I don't get fucking shot in a shootout as a bullet goes whizzing through my wall. I mean, Jesus Christ. We were constantly forced to take measures to protect ourselves, Romero said. I mean, you got to let that sink in, you know, the fact of the locks, the additional cameras, park, you know, all of that. I mean, you got to let that sink in. I've seen handguns, rifles with scopes, and other firearms. It got so bad that bullets even went through my friend's apartment and hit my car, Romero said. Okay? It's a fucking Altima, too. Of course, it's an Altima. Her car's an Altima when it got fucking shot. Which, if you want a gauge of someone's finances, Nissan is the low end, like the cheaper version of Maserati, and the fact of everyone gets a fucking loan. One of the reasons why Maserati's values, they sell high and then lose their value plummets and you lose your fucking shirt, is because they fucked themselves with the value of their vehicles. They created such a repo fucking situation. I mean, fuck, they had it at one point, but like leading up to 2008. I mean, this is kind of a tangent, but, you know, real quick. They were giving, you could lease a fucking Maserati, all right, on a fucking, like, Civic to an Accord fucking car payment. They were approving anyone. They were so desperate to fucking get cars off the lot. And that's what fucking Nissan does. Oh, fucking A. Of course she owns an Altima, but, you know, that's beside the point. Anyway. I mean, this is fucking retarded shit. This should not be happening. Despite frequent calls to 911, the police response was nearly non-existent. The police would call me and say they weren't coming unless it was a severe crime. Oh, because, you know, people fucking breaking into places with fucking guns ain't an important fucking crime. People shooting at each other isn't an important fucking crime. I mean, how fucking retarded do you have to be to say, oh, well, people shooting at each other, that's not an important crime? I mean, Jesus Christ. When I called the police to report a shooting, one officer asked if I had considered moving. If I could have afforded to leave, I would have. Or I would have. Romero installed multiple cameras that captured violent activity over weeks. Doorbell video shows a group of armed men forcing their way into her neighbor's home. Another night, her camera outside captured two men approaching a vehicle with guns drawn. I mean, this fucking shit is going on in the city, and they're playing stupid, saying, oh no, those people are talking out their ass. There isn't Venezuelan crime activity here. The governor of Colorado said the same fucking thing. Biden's administration said the same thing. Fucking Mayorkas said the same fucking thing. DHS, under him, said the same fucking thing. Okay, well, all it took was one Ring fucking camera to have them now finally fucking admit, even though they're like, oh, it isn't a major problem, it's just a rising. This is shit that's been going on since they fucking opened the floodgates. What's going on is it's now reached critical fucking mass. And where it's reached critical fucking mass, okay, this is just going to keep snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. This shit should not have been allowed in the first place. It should have been nipped in the bud when it was first being seen. Because once something hits critical mass, it's hard to fucking stop that shit. All right? You're like Sisyphus trying to roll a boulder up fucking hill to only have it fucking roll down and almost crush and kill you. And then you roll it back up and, you might knock shit down. But it's just going to come back with an even fucking bigger vengeance. It's like the idea of because they are a fucking disease, so it's a pertinent example. But it's like the idea of when you take antibiotics and you don't take enough, okay? Like for me, I need a full 14-day script if I have a sinus infection. I come back with another sinus. My sinus infection comes back and it's even more fucking virulent and fucking resistant than it was the first time, okay? Same fucking shit. You don't completely wipe these fucks out. They come back and they're even more resistant because the ones that fucking dealt with the shit are hardened, all right, from it, and they fucking teach the next generation being inducted in that. So you gotta fucking nip that shit in the fucking bud. And these are people that came from fucking gangbangers in Venezuela. Okay, the Crips and the Bloods, all right, this probably put me on their fucking hit list. But they ain't seen shit compared to the fucking gangs that are coming up from south of the fucking border. Okay, the Venezuelan gangs make MS fucking 13 look like a social fucking organization in comparison. Because in a fucking corrupt fucking socialistic fucking country like Venezuela, to get ahead, you gotta be, like, as a criminal, you have to be the most vile of the fucking vile. All right, these are guys that will spit in a cartel member's face. I mean, give me a fucking break. Romero criticized city officials for their failure to address the problem. You are elected to protect your constituents. You fundraise off your promises, yet you left us to die, she said. After a shootout on August 18th, Romero was driven to desperation, and this week her pleas for help were finally answered by Aurora City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky. Jurinsky was the only one who really took an interest in our safety and worked to find solutions. It meant a lot to have someone genuinely concerned, Romero said. Jurinsky helped her move out and find other housing. Yeah, well, the reason why she did that, because she knew about this shit. This is what's fucking hilarious. As a member of the city council, she don't know what the fuck's going on in her city bullshit. She saw as an opportunist an opportunity to fucking exploit the situation, which is exactly what she fucking did. And she's getting praised for it. Anyway, I went in myself to help people move out. There was a large police presence, and at one point, a gentleman charged up the stairs after me, Jurinsky said. It was an eerie feeling. Even as I was helping people move out, others were moving in right in front of me. Jurinsky first became aware of the escalating gang activity shortly after a large gathering in Aurora related to the Venezuelan election. So clearly she's known about this shit. Now she's going to finally do something about it? Why the fuck weren't you bringing this shit up at every fucking council meeting? I mean, she's being praised as a fucking hero and she's being an opportunist. I mean, give me a fucking break. People were saying that individuals were patrolling their priorities. I mean, even though this was, the election was pretty recent, she's been sitting on this shit for weeks. You'd think she would bring it up over the last several weeks. No, now they're finally fucking doing something because she saw an opportunity. People were saying that individuals were patrolling their properties with guns and walking through their buildings. They called the police repeatedly, but the response was lacking, Jurinsky said. According to her, police leadership had instructed officers at a minimum of 3 to 4 officers were needed to respond to such situations. If those numbers weren't available, officers were told not to respond. Yeah, so fuck you, citizenry. I know it's our job to stop this shit, but, you know, we're going to basically pull the fucking Texas school fucking shit. And we're going to sit there. Well, you all get fucking shot. We're going to be like those cops that went to the Supreme Court that were sitting in their car. I believe what was it, in New York? Where the fuck was that? I think it was New York. But they were sitting there watching criminals fucking accosting someone, attacking them. And they sat there, drank their coffee, ate their donuts, and watched it like it was a fucking show. And the Supreme Court said, hey, they don't have a right to, there's no fucking thing no requirement to protect and fucking serve. I mean, what the fuck are you being paid for then? Besides being fucking road pirates. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, this is some fucked up shit. This is some really fucked up shit. The council member expressed frustration about being one of the few voices raising awareness about the issue. She says politics is being played with people's lives. There's human suffering on the other side of some of these doors and these apartment complexes. But a big election's coming up and nobody wants to talk about this. Because if they start talking about this, someone has to admit there's a problem somewhere, she said. Oh, no, well, yeah, but the thing is, why don't you call out the fact that Aurora denied this shit? Why? I mean, because I remember Aurora denying this fucking shit. The city of Aurora. I remember fucking Colorado, the state, with the governor themselves denying this shit was going on in Colorado. I remember the Biden administration, his handlers. I remember fucking Mayorkas. I remember fucking DHS. I remember ICE. All of them saying, no, not a fucking problem. No, this ain't going on there. How about you call that shit out? Because you ain't doing that with this. Anyway, on Wednesday, Aurora police said they're aware that components of TDA are operating in Aurora. In a statement, APD says, in part, it would be improper at this time for the city and APD to make any conclusory statements about specific incidents or provide details about law enforcement strategy and operations. Based on our initial investigative work, we believe that reports of TDA influence in Aurora is isolated. They're still trying to cover themselves. I mean, fucking clown world, honk honk. I mean, give me a fucking break. They're using this, they're circling their wagons and they're like, well, we can't comment on this because of this bullshit thing and that bullshit thing, because they know they fucked up. They know they should the whole department should be fucking fired for this shit. You have a fucking gang going around with automatic weapons, rifles with scopes, fucking AKs, pistols with fucking Glock switches, all the shit that they go after law-abiding Americans for wanting. You know, hell, they go for like trigger law. Oh God, the fuck is it called? The triggers that they tried to label as a machine gun because they allowed you to get two, like, off of both, like, the movement. What the fuck was it? Bump stock, same fucking thing. You know, these fucks are sitting there brazenly just walking around with automatic weapons. And they're like, oh, it's just isolated. Are you fucking retarded? Even if it's isolated, which is bullshit, it shouldn't be happening. You should be, if it's isolated, you should know where the fuck it is, and you should be able to clean that shit up in 2 fucking seconds. You dumb fucking flat-footed, donut-eating fucks. I mean, you wonder why people call you fucking pigs and shit like that? When you act like a fucking pig, you are a pig. And this is a pig situation, pigs. I mean, what the fuck? In a response to the release of Romero's video footage, Dolinsky hopes it will bring action. The footage is too real to deny, she said. There has to be something done now. Romero says she survived the ordeal by staying quiet, giving them food and bed bug spray. Every night, she said, she was praying she'd hear sirens. In her new home, far away, the peace she feels is fleeting, because for many others, she says there is no escape, no solution, and no sign that help will overcome. My family lives in Aurora. My daughters live there. I talked them into moving to Aurora. If someone doesn't do something now, their apartments are next, she said. The city and Aurora police established a special task force to address concerns about Venezuelan gang activity. Oh, well, you know what that means. Absolutely nothing to see here. You people are completely misinformed. We investigated ourselves investigating this shit, and we can tell you we investigated it completely above board, and we didn't find a fucking thing. Because that's exactly what they're going to do. The only reason why they've had to admit what they did admit was because this woman had irrefutable fucking proof. And they're still trying to play it down like, oh, well, it's isolated. You're lying eyes. That isn't the norm in this area of Aurora. This isn't the norm in our city now. Fucking Democrat retarded fucking shit. I mean, the building could be burning down, and they're like fucking Frank Drebin, like at the fireworks factory going, absolutely nothing to see here, people, waving their fucking arms, drawing attention to the shit, going, nothing to see here. I mean, give me a fucking break. APD urges all community members, including members of our migrant communities, you mean the fucking illegals, to please report crimes committed against them to their local law enforcement agencies and not remain silent victims. Well, the reason why the illegals are fucking remaining silent victims and the quote-unquote asylum seekers is because they don't want any fucking problems. They can fuck up their chances of staying in the fucking country. Because if they're fucking here illegally and they're not a quote-unquote asylum seeker, which are still fucking illegals just by another name these days, they're afraid of being deported, which these gang members fucking exploit. And you're like, well, please call us and rat them out. When they're told that, hey, but especially by these gang members, hey, if you fucking rat us out, you're going to get, if we don't kill you, they're going to send you back. And then our guys will fucking kill you. Because that's what they're doing. Give me a fucking break. Crime victims can report crimes anonymously. Metro Crime Stopper is always information, blah, 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 blah. I mean, give me a fucking break. The only reason why they're acknowledging anything is because of a Ring fucking camera. These are the people that hate the fact that technology has advanced so much that we catch them catch them fucking with their hands in the till. We catch them fucking violating people's rights, like with the police and shit, and public officials. We catch them in their fucking shit. Okay? And this is just another example, even though it was, it's the result of their shit. So, it's same shit, different day, but they got caught with the result of their shit. And they, even when the people were talking about this, they were like, oh, no, that's not going on. Not at all. No, not at all. I mean, what the fuck? And they're still trying to play fucking stupid. Like they're playing the shit down. It's ridiculous. Anyway, yeah. Oh, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you've made it this far and haven't already, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to subscribe over on the other platforms where this channel's content is uploaded to, as well as subscribe and follow over on sites like Minds, Gab, and Parler. Links to each are in the description.